Weisser is Mike the Gun Guy.
Hey, I'm Mike the Gun Guy, and today I want to talk about the one issue that really divides gun owners from non-gun owners. And it can be summed up in a very simple question: do guns make us more or less safe? The problem is that the answers aren't so simple. Let's try to sort them out. Starting with a little history. We're the only country in the entire world that experienced an industrial revolution and at the same time conquered a frontier. Think about it. When the Industrial Revolution, which first started here, spread back to Europe, frontier zones in Germany, France, and England have been conquered and settled for more than 1,000 years. But while rifles coming off the world's first assembly line at the Springfield Arsenal, more than half the American continent was still unmapped. So it's easy to understand why Americans, from the beginning of the century, embraced their guns, because you really needed a gun if you were going to live or settle on the frontier. But that was then, and this is now. We can pretend that there were all kinds of wild, unsettled areas in the lower 48, but we know it's not true. So unless you're going to live in Alaska, if you want to carry or own a gun for self-defense, what exactly are we protecting ourselves from? It's a no-brainer to say that guns protect us from crime. But the truth is that violent crime, both against persons and property, is at an all-time low. Which doesn't mean we shouldn't be vigilant at all times, but even though the media loves to play up stories about crime and violence, the odds that we are going to be confronted by someone who wants to harm us or our loved ones are about the same as the odds that we'll drown by falling out of our motorboat, even if we don't own a boat. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying in any way to negate the right to self-defense. But I think the issue of having a gun at the ready is not because we would be less safe without one, but because knowing that we have the ability to defend ourselves with a gun just makes us feel more secure. It's kind of like the difference between flying and getting into a car. I know all the statistics which prove that the odds of being killed in my car are much greater than the odds of being killed in a plane. Don't ask me why, don't ask me how. The moment that plane lifts off from the ground, a little voice inside me tells me I'm not in control. People who don't own guns have the same fears that we do. Fears of the unknown, fears of the stranger, fears of not being in control. Why do some of us feel more secure by getting our hands on a gun, while others believe that a gun won't help them feel safer at all? Seems to me that this is the question that really divides gun owners like us from the other side, and there's no reason that we can't find common ground and a common language to help all of us understand and deal with our fears.
You can read Mike Weisser's blog at the Huffington Post, or you can visit him at his own website at www.mikethegunguy.com. This has been a Yankee Remedy production.